They still can't get into those pants they want to get into, right? That they used to get into, or that dress they still can't fit right. That's one of the reasons. You can't outwork out a bad diet. Here's a good question by Seekamethis. I'm still confused on these calories and how it is calculated. On my watch, it says kcal, and on the labels, it says calories. It's the same thing. Kilocalories is what they're talking about, but it's the same thing. What watch do you have? I assume you have the Apple Watch. Try to close those rings. I assume you're talking the Apple Watch, but who knows? Maybe you got another watch. It's all about calories in and calories out, which is why you got to track your food. If you're not tracking your food, you're flying blind. You're just guessing, and it's unlikely you're going to get what you want. Some days the scale will go down, other weeks it goes up, but you have no clue what you did or did not do to make it happen, right? So if you're not tracking your food, you don't know how long you exercise, you should also keep a training log. That would be the optimal situation. You put the effort into what you want. You put effort in study when you're in school, plan your vacation, you plan things that you care about. You got to plan your meals, track your meals, plan your workouts. If you just show up to the gym and are just going to do something, what did you have being successful? Not terribly great. Not terribly great. You have a cheaper off-brand watch. All right. Well, the key thing is tracking calories. So you're doing the right thing, right? You need some metric to track. You want to see progress, right? Progressive increasing. Okay, so we got a caller into the show. Hey, Seek, first time caller in, I believe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing well.
So what do you think so far? I know I'm guessing you got lots of questions.
So yes, okay, here's the thing. I'm having a hard time calculating the calories.
Okay.
But also, y'all are saying that you don't want to work out too much, do too much cardio.
This is true. You heard
it. I need a calorie deficit.
But you remember what we just saw in the video, right? You need to make it be both diet and exercise. That's the optimal situation, right? Yeah. If you just do true exercise only, I mean, you saw the science, right? If you bust your ass on whatever you're going to bust your ass on, the elliptical, the treadmill, whatever, and your watch says you burn 500 calories, to burn like say 300, you're going to put in some work. You're gonna be sweating, right? Much as 500, which is what you need per day, a deficit to lose a pound of fat, just about. For you to do all of that, you're not even getting all that 500 calories. You saw the math. You're getting a fraction of the 500 calories, which is why one of the reasons a lot of people bust their ass in the gym or running around the neighborhood or whatever they're doing, and the scale won't move. The pants, they still can't get into those pants they want to get into, right? That they used to get into, or that dress, they still can't fit right. That's one of the reasons. You can't outwork out a bad diet. You saw that guy. You saw how jacked and fit he is. He couldn't do it. Nobody can do it. This is why I was saying, unless you're a mutant or you have superpowers, can't do it. You got a full-time job. You got things going on. That guy is a professional. He doesn't have a 9 to 5. His job is to look good and work out. And he couldn't do it. What are the odds of you doing it? 0. Let me say it again. 0 chance of doing it, which comes back to tracking your meals, right? MyFitnessPal, it's free. Download it. You're kind of trying to build up a habit. It's like brushing your teeth. You're trying to build up this habit. It's difficult at first. I resisted it for many a months, but when I finally started tracking, it was liberating. I thought it would be restrictive, but it was liberating. And one of the ways when it hit me was wanted to go to the comedy club one night, and they had this 2-drink minimum at the time. I didn't know I could just order water. So as I was getting like 2 glasses of wine or something, I thought to myself, if I just lower my rice at dinner and this thing, if I have those drinks, I'll be about the same. Granted, alcohol has another effect on your body, but that's when it dawned on me. It's like, man, if I plan things out, I can really do whatever the hell I want. So if you're going to go with your girls for a fun night or whatever, you go on a date, you can just adjust during the day to eat less or drink less so you can have fun later. But if you're not tracking, you can't adjust. So it's the same thing. If right now you don't know what you ate last week, you don't know how many calories you burned working out, you don't know how many calories you consumed, you're just guessing, right? When you set up your equipment, would you just guess on the settings? Would you just turn it on and just like push some buttons and say, let's see what happens? You wouldn't do that. You're going to spend the effort and time, try things, check, plan, make measurements, whatever. You got to do the same thing with your body. The body is ridiculously complicated. Long-winded answer to your question, I know.
It's a little frustrating because it's like I didn't know we have to consider all these factors with not working out too much, but you need a calorie deficit. You be realistic. I am not being realistic still.
Well, you're getting there, right? Because this is why I would quit in the past, why most people quit, probably why you've quit before, because you're trying to use a sledgehammer to cut down a tree and you're whacking it, and you'll see some progress, but eventually you get frustrated. What you got to use is an axe or a chainsaw, which is knowledge. That's what it comes down to, knowledge. Knowledge is power. So now you have more knowledge, and it will take a while for you to fully apply said knowledge. So now you have an axe, but of course you could hurt yourself, so you got to be careful, right? Don't do too much with the knowledge and trip yourself up, because you could do that too. So you already know no cardio before strength training. So you've already made that adjustment. Now you know you need to start tracking the calories, and some of these things only you can do. It does, even if you have unlimited funds and you hire the best trainer in the world, there's some things there's no getting around. You have to do. You know your body better than anybody else. So you need to know, last week I was doing 10 pounds and now it's lighter. I need to go up. I mean, yeah, people can tell you, but you have to be honest with yourself, and you got to pay attention to yourself. So I know it can be overwhelming in a sense. So hopefully some of these videos can make it less overwhelming, or you can just ask questions, right? Because your questions are pretty good, because I'm sure a lot of people are thinking the same thing. Let me ask you this. Do you have MyFitnessPal or some of the means of tracking what you eat?
Yes.
Okay, so roughly how many calories per day are you consuming?
They said I'm supposed to be consuming 1,900 calories.
No, not how much you should be, how much you actually are consuming.
Probably like less than 1,000.
Yeah, so that's a humongous problem right there. So a couple things going on. First thing is what you said. They said you should eat 1,900 calories. I would say ignore what MyFitnessPal recommends.
Okay.
It tends to be not fully accurate. You also don't want to be eating 800 calories. The good news is you know what you're doing. So I know some people think it must be crazy when I make these bold statements like, only one client I've met that I didn't have to increase their calories. This is true. Your situation is very typical. You're not eating much food. You're eating 800 calories. You've been on the shows before where I bring up the FDA food chart showing the amount of calories you should be eating in a day.
I have not seen those videos yet.
Perfect. So we'll bring this up then. It's very interesting. This will help you a lot, because it's one thing to hear me talking, but nothing beats a visual. You're eating 800 calories. Good news, like I said, is you know what you're doing, which is half the battle right there. So females, you notice there's no 800 calorie number here. A 2-year-old should be eating 1,000 calories. Assume you're over the age of 18. You need to be eating 1,800 or more, depending on your activity level. And you're actually working out. Remember, this column, the first column, is for sedentary. People not doing anything. Maybe when you get to 51 to 55, which I know you're not that old, right? You're down to 1,600. So even at this age, you should be eating double what you're eating. We need to increase your calories, which might be difficult because you most likely don't have a strong appetite at this point in time, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because it's been like weeks since I've been eating like this.
Okay.
So I would have to work I would have to work into that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly good. You don't want to go from what you're doing to 1,900 calories. All that means you're going to do is get fat. You can't go from 0 to 60. I'm guessing your weight is fluctuating a little. It's about the same.
It's just maintaining. There's no...
Right, exactly. So if it's maintaining at that level and suddenly you jump to 1,900, you're just going to store a whole bunch of fat. Do not do that. You want to slowly increase. Think of this analogy like a frog in a pot of water. That story where if they slowly turn up the heat, the frog will just stay there till it boils. Where if you just throw the frog in the pot of hot water, it will immediately start trying to jump out. You're trying to slowly turn up the furnace on your body. Your metabolism most likely is running very, very low, which is why you're not getting fatter on 800 calories. Your body's doing its best to handle the lack of food resources. It's being very careful with what it's doing, because if you just start eating a ton of food, your body will be like, oh my goodness, we hit the jackpot and we don't know when she might take us back to 800 calories. Let's take as much of this food as possible, store it as fat, because she might just go back to 800. When the fat is moved, it's as if somebody reached in and just stole the fat from your body. Your body's like, what the hell? We want it back. And it's going to do what it needs to do to get it back. And then it's going to put it in a harder to take away place, like deeper in your internal organs, right? So yeah, the body, because it doesn't know that you purposely did surgery to get cut open. We've been around for thousands of years. Your body could have thought you were attacked by some wild animal who somehow stole your fat and you somehow survived. So your body's like, we need to put that stuff back. So I would say slowly increase the calories. So that's the first part. Okay, what about your workouts? What are you doing there?
Well, with my workouts, I just started lifting weights. So before I go for a walk, I lift the weights.
Okay, nice. So
and that's about 20 minutes.
Perfect right there, right? That's a great way to start. So regarding your appetite, what you're going to find, you might have a couple things. Either your appetite will gradually...
Coach, I have another workout.
You have a what?
I have another workout. I work out again at night.
So you work out twice a day currently?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another mistake. Essentially, you're burning the candle at both ends, right? You're at a minimum level of food right now, and you're working out not once, but twice a day. So you're burning, I'm pretty sure, excess of the 500 calories required to lose weight. So you're doing all of this, but because your caloric intake is so low, your body is like, we're not losing any weight. We can't afford to. This lady's trying to kill us. She's out there running around.
That's so dramatic.
Yeah. She's like, she's not feeding us. What's the difference between you doing what you're doing, right? Are you being living 300 years ago and you're out in the bush somewhere, your tribe was wiped out by some hostile tribe, and you're out there surviving on your own. You're stressing your body out. That's what you're doing. You're stressing your body out. Think of it this way. If you were, imagine you wanting 2,000 calories a day and I only feeding you 800. And I'm telling you, you know what? You need to be doing laps around your block. You'd be like, what the hell is with this guy? He's not feeding me, I'm starving, and he's running me ragged. You see what I'm saying? I would be stressing you out, right? You'd be like, this guy's stressing me out. That's what you're doing to your body. Your body's like, what the hell is she doing? She's stressing the hell out of us. That's what's happening, man. Immediately cut down to 1. That I can say, you can go from 0 to 60 there. You can go from 60 back to 0. So immediately cut one of your workouts out. Immediately cut one out. Immediately do that. Because you are determined to transform your body, you made it to the end of this video. To get more tips about how to look great and feel even better, check out one of these videos you see on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. So laters, my massive. Me I go long now. For those who don't speak Jamaican patois, that's goodbye, my people.